of milkiness, 30 to 45%, and you went immediately to a 90%, you would probably go, what the heck was I just eating? Because that didn't taste like chocolate to me. But it still does. This is probably the closest to a milky chocolate that you're going to get with these higher ones. Yeah, it's really good. It's really enjoyable. So I'm debating now with these two. This one is flavoured, and I would have preferred if I'd had a plain one, but I didn't get a chance to go to Sainsbury's. This is where I normally buy it, is either on their website, which is montezumas.co.uk. No, I have not been sponsored by them, though, hey, if you want to, I would be happy to take some chocolate off your hands. That's their website for Montezumas. If it's going to focus. Oh, and it's back to front. You know, anyway, I'll link the 3 websites down below so you can have a look. But this one I can only get near where I live at Sainsbury's or online, and the Sainsbury's plain was not available when I went in because it's really popular. They do, and then this is the plain one. Let's go this one. So, no, what we were talking about. Sorry guys. Right, let's do Montezumas, because that's what we were talking about. So Montezumas, this is their pure. They have 3 in the range of their Absolute Black, which is their 100% cocoa. They have a plain, which I couldn't get. They have one with almond nibs in it, or almond flakes in it, little almond things. And then this is the cocoa nib and orange oil. So the ingredients in this one is awesome. First of all, the carbs are 8 grams. So remembering that this is, what was I say? It's 14 grams for the Lindt. This is 8 grams. So this is almost half the grammage of carbs per 100 grams. And its ingredients are 93% dark chocolate, all of which is just cocoa mass, nothing else. 7% cocoa nibs, so you get a nice crunch to it, and orange oil. That is it. So there's no sugar in this. This is really, really great. So this one comes in a packet like that. It doesn't naturally want to open. It's a thicker, but it's a smaller box. As you can see, size-wise, it is a smaller box, but it's a thicker box. So it depends on if you like a big square of chocolate, but quite thin, or a slightly smaller square of chocolate that's thicker. It's up to you. So in the box comes in a sachet with the Montezuma symbol all over it, the little M. Again, I have had this before. I've had this quite a lot, so this is one of my go-tos as well. First thing you get is the orange oil smell. It's this beautiful citrusy, orangey, fresh flavour. It smells warm. You know how sort of orange oil and orange smells? Just smells warm of summer and lovely warmness. Tell us what it smells like to me. It smells warm. It smells nowhere near as cocoa-y, like as chocolatey. I hate doing this, but I'll be probably doing it a lot. It doesn't smell as chocolatey as the Lindt, because the orange is the first smell you get. But then after, once your nose sort of goes, orange, what's the other smell? There's this dark chocolate smell, but it's more cocoa than chocolate. So the squares of these come in little itty bitty squares. So they are, let me pull out a big one because I've got 2 squares there. I won't be having 2 squares, but I usually have 2 squares. This is how they come. See? So more like a normal block of chocolate, but at the bottom, it's got the big M at the bottom. Oh, and Kitty is moving. That's not chocolate for you, Kitty. Can you see her? I don't know if you're going to see her as she goes past. Come on, Nix. Come on. No, okay. She's sitting over there. You can't see her. So, that is the chocolate. And this is what it looks like. Very dark again. Same sort of colour. But it actually, weirdly, is lighter than, it's more brown coloured. And if I go to the same Skull Animals book, see, it's much more brown than the Lindt. And when you pull it out of the packet and get rid of the massive or orange smell, I mean, it's a lovely orange smell. This is now more balanced. So you've got this dark cocoa mass smell along with the orange. And you can't see any nibs. Nope, it's nice and flat. Okay. Now that's a good crunch. So this is a much more intense flavour. I would definitely recommend, if you're going to go for this, to step it up. So if you are used to a 45 or even an 85, I go an 85, then I go a 90, then I go the 100. Because if you just went straight to 100, this is intense. This is a bit like a cocoa slap in the face, but in a good way. So you can't really see the nibs in it in any way. Come on, little camera. It's not going to focus, but you can't see the nibs anyway. But when you eat it, there's lots of little, almost nib granules. So they're really, really small, but it gives you this almost, you know, when you have like a Pop Rock sort of popping candy type chocolate, it gives you the effect of that without any popping. It just gives you that crunchy mouthfeel almost. Or if there's a cereal in it. There was a little crunchy bit. And then you've got this lingering, lovely, just perfect amount orange oil. So it's Choc orange. If you're Australian, you'll know about Jaffas. So imagine Jaffas, but like intense. So you've got this lovely hint of orange oil that lingers in the mouth and on the tongue, but it definitely doesn't have the lingering effect of the lint. Lint lingering effect. And I think that's because this is just cocoa mass. There's no added butter, there's no sugars, there's nothing else. So what you're getting is pure cocoa with a hint of orange, and then some of the cocoa nibs or cacao. Is it cacao or is it cocoa? No, it's cocoa. I would say cocoa. Cacao has got, well, I'm going to say cocoa. So that's how it tastes. It also dissipates quite quickly from the mouth. It doesn't have the lingering effect. Yeah. But when it's in the mouth, it just sort of coats it. It just goes poof and explodes in the mouth. Not in a melty way, just in a filling way. So now we're going to try soak. So you can see I'm going to eat probably about the same amount, but it's in one square. But it's much thicker. This is the hard bit. If anyone ever tried, just letting the chocolate sit on their tongue. It's so hard, really. It's good though. I can't suck it. That gives a more intense flavour when you leave it to sit on the mouth. It definitely coats the mouth. You've got this lovely unctuousness about it. And the orange oil, still, it tastes very warm. As I said before, to me, orange always makes me think warm summer days. That's probably from Australia, and that, you know, oranges traditionally need a good warm sun to grow. Because this is the orange oil, it's probably coming from the pith and the skin and the orange as well. So it's definitely got this warmth about it in the mouth. It just is really lovely. Really, really lovely to taste. And then you're left with these little crunchy cocoa nibs, which just give you more of a cocoa-y flavour overall. So I think that's probably my favourite. The plain one from Montezuma's I find a little bit more challenging to eat because it is just pure cocoa. And from when I've had it in the past, I usually end up going to the Choc orange because it's just that little bit easier to eat, while still being really good, but the plain one, you have to be prepared to not have anything else. You need to have a clean palate. You can't really eat it with a lot of other things. It's something to experience on its own, which is great. Okay, and then our third one today. Now we bought this one yesterday, and I did have a square, and hubby had a square. It's really good. What I liked about this one, again, comes in a packet, a bit like the lint one. Comes in a wrapper with its nice M&S embossing all over it. This one, interestingly, has a taste profile inside. Oh, and just as an aside, obviously Montezuma's is actually, this one's vegan. So if you are a vegan, which I am not, but if you are a vegan, you can actually eat the whole 3 of this Absolute Black range. And the lint one, I don't think it says it's vegan, or it's obviously not vegan because it has cocoa butter in it. But then when you think cocoa butter, cocoa mass, low-fat cocoa powder, sugar and vanilla, that is, as far as I'm aware, that is definitely vegetarian. But it does also say it may contain hazelnuts, other nuts, milk and soya. So I guess that's why they don't actually officially say it's vegan. But yeah, I think if you went into it, you'd probably find you probably could. But don't take my word for it. This one, however, this says 100% cacao. Oh, yeah, it is actually cacao, 100% cacao. It's just cocoa mass. That's it. And the cocoa is traded in compliance with fair trade standards, 100%. It's not suitable for nut, peanut and milk allergy sufferers due to manufacturing methods. So that's why, again, I don't say this is actually vegan. Obviously it's manufactured in a manufacturing area where there might be that risk. But it does say it's suitable for vegetarians, because obviously vegetarians can have dairy, and yeah. So this one, it's 100%, 100 gram carbs is 13.2. So this is higher than the Montezuma's, lower than the lint. And inside, I did like how this had a taste profile. So with the spider graph, which is pretty cool. So it's saying it has a global intensity of 4.5. It has an aroma of 3.5, acidity of 3, a bitterness of 4, a sweetness of only 1, a stringency of 1.5, fresh fruits, nutty, a bit of nut and a bit of floral, and then there's no spice to it at all. So it says, in the absence of any added sweetness, broad notes of red fruits and honey predominate, together with persistent acidity and hints of vanilla. Walnut halves will add some nutty succulence, while a peaty whiskey is robust enough to overcome the astringency of the cocoa. Fortunately, I don't have any whiskey to try as well, so we'll just have to have a plain. It comes in a big square as well, which I have broken already for this. Now this one, the smell of this, it definitely, like the first smell you get is very astringent and almost bitter, but not bitter, not like, ooh, what was that? But it's definitely astringent. It's like when you smell a whiskey that's a really peaty, boggy whiskey, and you go, oh, that's, oh, you know what I'm trying to explain. Oh, that's what it smells like. Again, big square. This one says M&S on it. Established 1884. So what we're looking for with this one, this is saying I have broad notes of red fruit and honey with a persistent acidity and hints of vanilla. So that's one in, oh my God, that is one intense cocoa. I'd had it yesterday, but I'd forgotten already. It does almost taste like a wine in the red fruits. So it's got this, I guess the vanilla as well. The vanilla and the red fruits You can definitely taste them. And it almost tastes alcoholic because this is so intense a flavour that there's a warmth to it as well, definitely. And it's definitely, oh, the colour as well is quite very brown compared to the lint, which is surprising because lint, look how dark the lint is. I mean, this is really brown. The lint is very dark. I wonder whether they wouldn't put colour in it without saying. Anyway, so this is, yeah, it's got a great crisp crunch, like a snick to it when you bite into it. But the flavour is just so intense. It's almost not chocolate flavoured. It almost doesn't taste like cocoa. What it tastes like is alcoholic-y vanilla, like when you smell vanilla essence or taste a bit of vanilla essence on your tongue, and when you have a rich dried raisin, or when you actually have like an older, more mature Shiraz wine, this is what it tastes like. And it lingers so long in the mouth. So I'll do another little bite. Now, the second piece, now I'm getting the cocoa. So the first bite was all fruits and alcohols. But now I've got a real chocolatey flavour to it. So now we'll do a bit of lingering. And I'll leave the rest for later. Definitely there is an acidity to it, and it's definitely a robust flavour. It's a very full flavour. None of these melt quickly on the tongue, and that's because what is not in them. This one, I'm just coated. The whole inside of the mouth is intensely covered with this slightly acidy, slightly fruity, dark, intense cocoa flavour. When I have this sort of thing, this is what I think must have been when they made cocoa and they chewed the cacao pod and stuff way back when. That's how it must have been. And it's a very mature palate. Like the flavours about these, if you like a really sweet chocolate and you like all your food sweetened and you know don't like anything bitter or intense, I don't think you'd like it. However, I think this is how we should be eating chocolate. We should be eating it as a superb, intense treat that's also great for the brain and great for the heart. But, you know, you have one square of it, maybe 2 squares. You don't have a whole block in a sitting if you can possibly help it. And that's hard because I can eat a whole block of chocolate. And I'm not saying anyone who sits down and eats a whole block of chocolate is having a big issue. But I think this is the way we should be experiencing chocolate, along with every other food. You know, like this block of chocolate, they're not cheap. This is £2. The Lindt is usually $2 to $2.50 depending on where you buy it. I bought it on sale for $1.50, but you know, it's a respect of the food and the ingredients and the growing and the fair trade and all the things that go along with it, right down to the experience of the enjoying the intensity of those flavors. So I really like the fact that I do have a dark chocolate now. And it's not always an easy process to sit down and watch TV and eat a block of chocolate. Having a square of chocolate, by its very intensity, when you have it in your mouth and you eat it, you actually have to stop and be aware of what you're tasting, the mindfulness part of it, because it won't let you just go hum nom 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 nom. So for me, it's a good thing because I want to keep the weight off and I want to also enjoy some chocolate. So for me, it works really, really well. So of the three, I love the Choc Orange from Montezuma's because it's very intense. However, it gives a bit of a different flavour. I don't usually get an orange flavour in my chocolates because we usually have plain ones. So that's a really nice treat. If I feel like what I was just saying, I want to have a bit of an easier time with some chocolate. I want to have a piece of chocolate. I want to have it with a coffee or a dessert, or I want to melt it in a chocolate mousse or something. Then I'll go for the Lindt. Yes, it has a bit of sugar in it, but it is very low in carbs and it gives me the easy access chocolate. But this M&S that we got, it's beautiful. I like really, really love it. I bought it in store and I don't know if you can order it online. I'm sure you can. marksandspencer.com is their website, and I would be buying this again, and I'd be tempted to make an effort to go and buy it over some of the others, or I'd actually like to have like a taste palette, so I probably would have it in the cupboard on a regular basis. It's just beautiful. It smells really good. So there we go. I might finish with that. I might just have a bit more and I'll leave you with me eating my chocolate. Oh, I made this, by the way. Made my little nose ring. And the cat's walking on the other side now. Yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this. If you want me to get back into doing more taste tests, I can do taste tests of other things that I can eat. Or I can try other things, but I don't do some of the foods now. So I might try and make some keto sweets and suggest them, or some savouries, and we'll see how we go from there. So have a lovely afternoon, everyone, or morning or night, whenever you're watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I gave you a thought of maybe to try something different, try an intensely dark chocolate just to give it a go. If you want me to try any other flavours or brands of chocolate, let me know. Obviously, I would prefer to not try anything below an 85% because that then kicks me out or has issues with the keto thing. So yeah, and have a lovely time and cheers.